Good afternoon and welcome on a weekend that a lot has been happening from a sporting point of view. It's been a very good week for Kenya in terms of sporting activities. First and foremost, our Kenyan team, that is the Harambee Starlets, went out, trying, to come out and get some good results from Tunisia, and they did extremely well, beating Tunisia away in Tunis by 1-0, seeing them through to the next round where they will be facing Gabon. Congratulations to Harambee Starlets at a time when many had written them off, knowing that going to North Africa and getting results is not the easiest of things. But Beldin Odemba and team went there. They saw, they conquered, they delivered. Congratulations to the team on a week that we also saw our very, able men's team in rugby, that is the 7th team, not performing so well as they went to Vancouver, Canada. Not a good outing for them, a lot at stake for them in terms of getting out there and getting some results. And as we talk about rugby, our very own Kenya Lionesses at the moment in Cape Town for the HSBC Challenger Series, where they've really played so well so far. They've managed to beat Samoa by 20 points to 5. Congratulations to Lionesses. It's just the start, and we continue with the same. Of course, Formula One getting ready, and we saw practice sessions are coming up, and many wondering how Lewis Hamilton is going to make it with Ferrari. A lot to talk about from a Formula One point of view, but let's not forget that all this is happening at a time when Arsenal fans thought they had what it takes in terms of pushing Liverpool all the way to the final day, but it looks like it's slipping from their hands because Liverpool continued their dominance after beating Manchester City at a time when many expected City to come out on top, beating City by 2-0, while Arsenal were humbled by West Ham by 1-0. Arsenal again midweek not getting the result they desired because they were held to a barren draw by Nottingham Forest. A lot to talk about from a sporting point of view, and of course the Sirikwa Classic, where Agnes Jebet last weekend and Daniel Simiu Ebonyo running away with the top honors at the Sirikwa Classic in Lobo Village, that's Uasin Gishu County, Eldoret town to be specific. Good afternoon and welcome wherever you're joining us from Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Moyale, Marsabit, not forgetting Eldoret, and anywhere across the borders. It's that moment when we discuss matter sports. My name is Amfa Pidi, and of course to our Muslim brothers and sisters, wishing you all the best as you start your holy month of Ramadan. Wishing you all the best. We now want to bring out this and just let you know that this is brought to you by Michezo Bet, and of course Michezo Bet Jet A1 on star 892 hash cautions that betting can be harmful to your life. Bet responsibly. Take occasional breaks from betting. Only bet using money meant for entertainment. For details, dial star 892 hash or visit www.michezobet.com. Dial star 892 hash or visit www.michezobet.com. Play Aviator without data, without credit. Dial star 892 hash for instant takeoff. Navigate without the pressure of crashing or cashing out. With a Kabambe or feature phone, you can also be an aviator. Just dial star 892 hash and play Aviator without data, without credit. Brought to you by www.michezobet.com. Play responsibly. Must be 18 years and above to participate. Regulated by Betting Control Licensing Board license number 664. Remember, it's brought to you by www.michezobet.com. who are our proud sponsors for this show. Thank you very much. And as we start off, we normally start off with a score to give us highlights of how events unfolded, both locally and across the borders. But this time round, we want to tweak it a bit and start off with guests in studio to help us unpack how they are prepared for all that's coming up. We have, the Special Olympics World Winter Games will be happening in Turin, Italy between the 8th to the 15th of March. The team has been in residential training and gearing up up for the same. We are privileged and honored to be joined by the team that's currently in residential training to just help us unpack how things have been unfolding and how we can prepare and wait for their performance as they go out. Let's take the opportunity to introduce the team with us in studio and also get to engage them as we move on. I'll start with my immediate, to my farthest right, where we are joined by William Wanjohi. William Wanjohi is the head coach of Floorball, the team that's currently preparing at we in residential training to represent the country. Good afternoon, William.
Good afternoon.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Next to William, we have Eric Otieno. Eric Otieno is a member of the Floorball team, currently in residential training, getting ready to go out there and represent the country. Eric, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, thank you.
Jisikie huru, uko poa? Asante. Then I'll cross over to my immediate left. To my left, we have Victor Lijembe. Victor, an athlete, also a floorball player with the Kenya, with the Special Olympics Kenya team that's currently in residential training. Victor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Next to Victor, we have the sports manager, Special Olympics Kenya, Mr. Vincent Mungai, who's been here before, helped at unpack and also prepared us for what is happening and what we are currently getting ready for. Vincent, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Hope you've been keeping well.
Aye.
Thank you, Vincent.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the man who makes the calls, the man who by the end of the day, many will argue, is the captain of the ship to ensure that everything runs well as per script, logistics, everything is delivered. We are talking about the CEO of Special Olympics Kenya, Mr. William Maithia, with us in studio. Good afternoon. What a privilege and honor to also have him here. Despite all the busy schedules, he's made time to be with us. William, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Amfa. I want to say thank you to KBC and thank you to your team for hosting Special Olympics. It is rare that athletes who play in disability sports, be it at national, continental or international, tend to get this type of visibility. And KBC has been very, very a good partner to host us, and we say thank you so much. And we hope to have a very easy discussion with you.
Definitely. It will be easy, interactive, and we hope to have some fun as well. And thank you for making time. And it's also, for me, it's a pleasure to finally put name and face together.
Asante sana.
We'll talk about this in some other circles.
Mm.
But first and foremost, karibuni sana. Let me start with you, William,
Yes,
as the
sir.
CEO.
Yes.
The team is currently in residential training and, getting ready for the Turin Special Olympics World Winter Games.
Yes, sir.
That's coming up. How prepared are we?
Well, Amfa, I don't know what is the name that fans wanakuita nayo. Unajua lazima pia tujue ile jina. Yo Amfa. Jina kubwa ndugu yangu.
Asante.
Kuna jina kubwa.
Asante.
Safari yetu ya kuandaa our team for Turin, the Winter Games, haikuanza juzi. Ilianza early 2024 in January, wakati tulianza na grassroots talent identification. Then we empowered our county coaches to be able to identify critical talent within our athletes. Remember that AMFA, our athletes have intellectual disability, and so it takes an extra step, of course, including with sensitivity, to be able to identify them and instill the technical knowledge of the game. And then we did the grassroots, and we did the grassroots that culminated in a national trial. We had a very beautiful national trial. In fact, the organization was represented in the national trials the last weekend of August at Oshwal. Na tangu hiyo siku tumekuwa tukisukuma coach William na timu yake on every weekend that the team trains. We've been supervising their training, and now we've just put them in camp for a 2.5 week residential camp at Kasarani, so that tukienda nje, they are well gelled. And now we also try and ensure that they're within the competitive sense of character, ndio turudi na ushindi. So hii safari yetu imekuwa ndefu, lakini alhamdulillah tumejiweza. Our athletes are very ready. Our coaches have actually been assuring us hata sasa mahali tuko ni ushindi tu, and we pray to our Almighty that we come back with a win. Thank you.
William, listening from you, you know, the Swahili say siku njema huonekana asubuhi. You can clearly tell itakuwa tournament nzuri.
Asante.
Asante.
Bismillah.
Let me cross over and come to you, William, as well, coach.
Yes.
You know, William Wanjohi. Coach, you selected the team, you know, with the help of others. The team is now set and ready to go. Oh, how was the selection like process for you? Was it a headache, or you know, you believe that we have the cream de la cream,
Yeah.
you know, to represent Kenya?
Thank you so much. So I'll begin with the first one. Now, the selection process in Special Olympics, we have athletes and partners. So there before we used to play together with athletes and partners playing unified floorball. But again now, after now the quota, we head now to select because we are taking male tradition. So male tradition means we are only giving the athletes now this chance. So athletes only without the partners. So for us, it was not an easy job because we had to do a selection. Who are these athletes? So there is what we call skill assessment. So we had to go through the skill assessment process, having all athletes playing together. Then again, we subject them to a certain techniques on skill assessment, whereby we have different skills assessment tests in the floorball. For example, the stick handling, shooting to accuracy, shooting to score, passing, receiving the ball, and control. So if you assess all those, that's how we came up with the team. Because, and again, we were given also the instruction from the Special Olympics office and also from Special Olympics International to have the athletes. In terms of age gap, there is certain age, when you are taking the selection of the team, they have to be on the same gap in terms of age. And the same thing, they have to be of the same ability. We have low ability and high ability. So for my team, I decided with the help of other coaches that we are going to take the high ability athletes.
Thank you very much. I remember we have two Williams in studio. That has been William Wanjohi, the head coach of floorball, you know, Special Olympics Team Kenya. And we also have William Maithia, who is the CEO Special Olympics Kenya.
Thank you.
So now we know he's CEO Special Olympics Kenya with us in studio. What a privilege and honor to have you. Let's cross over to Vincent. Vincent, as the sports manager at Special Olympics Kenya, how has it been, and are you happy? Are you confident of you know, of what you've seen so far?
Yeah, for me, I'll say yes. I'm very happy. For their journey started in 2021, as far as floorball is concerned. For me, I started planning for it 2020 to have this competition. So there are two words that I want to differentiate here that the coach has used: an athlete and a partner. Maybe for us within Special Olympics, we know what that one means. But the word athlete, as far as Special Olympics is concerned, that one means any person with intellectual disability, any age, any level of play. So we always refer to them as an athlete. It's an honorable word that we give them so that we don't call them either a child or an adult. Otherwise, you may call someone who is 14 years a child because maybe their intellectual functioning is at that age. So for us, we go with the social age. If they are in the age of being called an adult, we call them an adult. But the best we use the word athlete, it cuts across. A partner means any person without intellectual disabilities. So through that one, by bringing those two together, now we have a unified team. So majority of all the teams that we have, they are unified. But for the floorball, the quota that we are given is traditional. Traditional means the athletes alone. Unified means we have both the athletes and the partners together. So for me, what Coach William was doing, he was doing on behalf of the University of Nairobi Club. But for the national competition, we had 8 teams that did their selection like they did. So when they came to the national games, we had 3 divisions. So the first division was the ones who are above 18 years. There were 5 teams. So when they played against each other, we came up with 2 divisions. The one division was Division 1 high ability. Actually, the Division 1, those teams were higher than their team. Then they were in the lower division of the above 18. Then we had another division for the below 18 years because they cannot play with these other ones there. So at the end of the competition, national competition, we had 3 winners. Then all the 3 winners deserved to go to Turin, but the quota given by Special Olympics Africa was only 1. So for Special Olympics, we do something called random draw. So we have the 3 winners, then we put them in a basket. In this case, actually, the draw was done by an officer from the Ministry of Sports who was representing the CS at that particular moment. Then Koroga. So, so the name that was picked out of the 3 winners, the first qualification is you have to win your division.
Yes.
Then the name picked is a name that will represent our country. And in this case, they were lucky that their name was the one that was picked. So irrespective whether they were in Division 2, 1, or they're below 18, now that the team that we pick as Special Olympics Kenya, and that the team that we forwarded to go and represent our country in Turin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very well put there. And in the Koroga, moment, luck comes with it, Eric.
Oh, they were so happy. Oh, they were so happy.
You can imagine the others crying.
Eric, how excited were you?
It was most exhausted.
Ulifurahi sana?
Kabisa.
Kabisa.
We didn't expect.
But now getting it and being told now the luck is on your side, now comes the hard work. How has the preparation been?
Preparation according to our side as an athlete. Yeah, preparation. We have been training now is 2 years. Yes, floorball. Since we were told that is the game that we are training. So we have been playing as the coach said. Vile coach amesema, yeah, tulikuwa tunacheza pamoja na our partners. Yeah, partners. As the way that our coach team managers tried. So we playing. Kabla waja announce that athlete is the only part will be taken. Yeah. So tulikuwa tunacheza pamoja as a team. We get the skill from them after all. So after that we were selected as a team to go to represent the national team. Yeah, that's where we got we was being put on that
Koroga.
That
Bakuli.
That bakuli.
bus bakuli.
Na bahati kawangukia.
So from there we have been training so hard because we now thinking how to go there and
Get the result.
bring the gold in. It is our country. So our coaches William have been working hard and to train. Then even Vincent also is trying hard there to make us being more skilled and get more facilities of making the game better.
Getting the ready.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. And, we look at it with a lot of confidence going forward. Victor, bahati nasibu, bahati shawangukia. Sasa unajua kazi iliyobaki ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumesukuma na ile bahati tumeenda nayo na tukahakikisha ya kwamba hatuendi tu kupeana namba kule. Eric amesema tutajaribu turudi na gold, sivyo? Na sasa ndio tupate hii gold, lazima tufanye mazoezi. Mazoezi imekuwa vipi?
Okay, tangu tuanze global mara ya kwanza sikuwa naijua vizuri, ndio mara yangu ya kwanza. So wakati vile coach yule alitufunza, kaambia mambo ni polepole tu, haina haraka. Jio miaka tuko nazo, tutatrain polepole tutaijua. So wakati nilianza kutrain, kushika stick hivi, tunajua lazima ufanye 1, 2, 3.
Na mnapotrain hii stick hata haina uzito. Hawezi inuka weka mtu akichezea vibaya.
Hapana. Sasa najua sasa kulingana vile tulifunzwa, kama mpira iko hapa, chini kuonyesha kidogo.
Naam.
Naweka tu mpira hivi. Sasa kama ni kupasia mwenzako unampasia, lakini usiinue sana. In case kama uinua, maybe itakuwa unaweza mgonga kama kwa nyuma yako ama bahati mbaya. Hivyo ndio hivyo.
Naam.
Alafu
endelea.
Alafu sasa ndio tulitrain hivyo, mwaka imeisha, nikatrain, tukafika December, nikaona niko sawa floorball sasa. Sisi tukungoje mwaka sasa. Au hiyo tukungoje sasa hii mwaka tuingie camp sasa, tupige zoezi sasa, ndio tukienda sasa tukingojea tukileta gold kwenye nchi yetu.
Na tuna imani itakuwa.
Tuna imani.
It can be done.
Yeah.
Coach William.
Yes.
Amezungumzia stick.
Yes.
Kuna mpira. What is the difference between this and hockey?
Okay. Asante. Tofauti kuu kwa hockey na floorball. Floorball inaitwa floorball, especially hapa Africa. Ukienda nchi kama Switzerland na Sweden, yaitwa uni hockey. So wakati floorball inachezwa with a stick, stick iko na shaft, this is a shaft, na iko na blade. Hockey inachezwa na one wooden stick, so hiyo ni tofauti moja. Ya pili ni kwa mpira. Floorball iko na a very light plastic ball, so hii plastic ball inakuanga na 26 holes. A standard ball, a floorball ball inakuanga na 26 holes, so ni tofauti sana na ile, na haina uzito, very light ya floorball. Tofauti nyingine ni ati floorball, katika sheria za floorball hakuna body contacts. Kuna more body contacts in floorball like hockey. Number 2, there is no high sticking. Actually, that's the main rule in floorball. There is no high sticking in floorball. Unlike hockey, you can sweep the way you want. So in floorball, the main difference with hockey is there is no high sticking and there is no much body contact. And again, there is no stick contact. Once you hit your other player's stick, that's a foul. It's a given, it's awarded to the other team. Yes.
And the pitch?
So the pitch, generally floorball is played on a gym floor. Gym floor basically need to be, number 1, very smooth, so that to prevent any. In fact, for this floor, for example, if there is anything that is on this floor, this ball will not move as supposed to be moving. So, unlike any, for example, like hockey, for hockey it can be played in any
surface.
Yeah, any surface. But for floorball, it's specifically the gym floor.
Wow.
Yes.
Now I think I know the difference and can explain some of it. Most of the ball with 26 holes, the hockey ball is a bit heavier.
Very heavy.
And you can play in artificial turf. This needs a special, surface to play it so that everything comes out.
Yes.
Let's cross over to William, CEO. CEO, Turin is beckoning 8th to the 15th of March, which is just days away.
Yes.
How prepared are we from a logistics point? Is everything in place in terms of air tickets and the other end in Turin? What happens? Are we going to be received by the international body, or are we as Team Kenya are going to take care of ourselves, and is everything set?
Shukran sana Amfa. Nitakuwa nachanganya Kiswahili na Kizungu.
Jisikie huru, jisikie huru.
Mwanzo ningependa kutofautisha, kuna tofauti kidogo katika mpira kijiti nyika na mpira kijiti barafu.
Naam.
Pole sija kuchanganya. Unajua ni watu wa Nyanza.
Kiswahili changu si kibaya pia, nishaelewa.
So basically when you play normal hockey, you're playing in an unrestricted.
You left my director kwa kijiti nyika.
Well, kijiti nyika, una imagine unacheza Masai Mara, alafu kijiti barafu ni kama unacheza na nyuki.
Naam.
With normal hockey, you don't have restriction of the playing area. Ndio maana unapata hockey tu tunacheza kwa kiwanja yenye unaweza cheza handball. Ama shule zingine kama within secondary school sports development, we even agitate the schools to do it in a lawn tennis, so that it becomes a three discipline pitch. So you can have your netball, you can have your basketball, you can have your lawn tennis and hockey. Okay? So mpira inaweza enda nje na iende. The difference, the beauty of this is that this is more of ice hockey. So hii haina ile ubavu wa kando wa kuzuia mchezaji asitoke nje, because ice hockey the wall is your barrier, so you can go hit the wall, come back and play. So you will see even in our games we have a barrier. The only difference is that we don't allow them to fight. in ice hockey, if you feel like asira imekupanda,
flexing your muscle,
mnaingia alafu mnapatiwa timeout ya 1 minute, mwenye ametoboa mnakuja katikati mnaendelea. The other difference is that we do not allow in floorball, we do not allow the goalkeeper to hold any instrument to restrict the ball from being scored. So atatumia tu mwili yake and whatever gears that we've provided for him, and of course he wears a helmet. Because I would want to say something to you, Amfa. Special Olympics is also very key on individual sports technical development. So we are trying to advance the technical development of sports that can allow persons with intellectual disability. And you know, intellectual disability is a very large spectrum. You start from dyslexia, autism, all the way to cerebral palsy. The easiest way to score to assess intellectual disability, of course, is IQ 70 and below. But you see, also on the health and the physical side, you actually go from fully physically able to fully purely disabled, that they have to use a wheelchair and cannot even move their arms and limbs. So we are really putting in a lot of effort at the African and the international level to develop sports discipline and adapt famous and mass sports disciplines to fit our play. And of course, we follow the Olympic type sports. The other thing that I would want to also show is that Special Olympics is, you've had the word partner and athlete.
Athlete, yes. Essentially,
we are just trying to promote inclusion. We actually, from research, we realized that the easiest way for someone to understand inclusion and give concern to people with intellectual disability is to put them in one field and for them to play as a team. And so when we gave them a very beautiful name called partner, because they're also contributing into the whole basket of winning. So partners are persons without intellectual disability but of the same ability level in that specific sports discipline that they are playing. And that one utapata hata before waanze kucheza, wakimaliza kucheza, hata unaona sasa na kumbe upande wa mchezo you're just as able as anyone else. And that one for us is a champion to inclusion, because we really want to promote inclusion. I'll come back to your question. Mwanzo tungependa kumshukuru Cabinet Secretary wa michezo Bwana Salim Mvurya na PS TUM na timu yake yote. Wametusaidia sana. In fact, I think sisi ndio one of the few federations that we don't need to really beg or knock 10 doors to get help. We took in our proposal through the Department of Sports, and the PS was very, very humble and very responsive to our request. And of course also the CS, Bwana Salim Mvurya. He's been in office for a very few days, but he's really been responsive to our request. And even the previous CS, Bwana Murkomen, was in fact, he invited us to his office for a visit, and Mvurya made to promise that tukijitayarisha atatuandaa kutupokea. And I can tell you, we got our tickets less than a week after we requested. So everybody here is guaranteed. They have their passports. Tunajua mahali tutalala, tunajua mahali tutaoga, tunajua ile chai, tuko na guarantee tutakunywa chai, na hatutalala kwa sakafu airport kama tuko na kama tunangoja ndege nyingine, sababu unajua imekuwa fiasco ya Afrika. Yes. Siku hizi lazima paka unapata journalist wanangoja mahali mna connect transit, mmelala kwa floor. Sisi wetu wako na mpaka, unajua tunaenda kucheza kwa barafu. We are going to play -4 +3. Yeah. So in fact we already have the gear, the thermal gears. Utaona tukicheza watakuwa mivimba. Tukiwa Turin tukikutumia picha utaona mivimba, sababu watakuwa na layer of clothes on top, because we will get a very short time to acclimatize, because we are landing in on the 7th and we are going to the opening ceremony on the 8th, and we are going through the process of divisioning. Because when we arrive in Turin, all the countries that are arriving to play are of different ability levels. So then within the fragment of floorball, we have to do divisioning again before now we go to what you normally call preliminaries in football. So that we ensure that when now a fixture is out, is a fixture of teams within the same ability levels.
Well, those are some of the images you can see of what the team is talking about when they say floorball, team, and very, very able There you can see some of the demos of what it's all about and the kind of surface that they are talking about. You can see the goalkeeper has nothing to defend but his body and the attire or maybe the equipment that he is wearing. That's part of floorball that we are talking about, and the team to represent Kenya in Turin from the 8th to the 15th of March. Part of the team is here. We are joined by the CEO, Special Olympics Kenya, Mr. William Maithia, then of course sports manager Vincent Mungai, head coach William Wanjohi, and Victor Lijembe and Eric Otieno, floorball players are with us. Vincent, one can argue that we are since going to extreme temperatures, one can ask, why not go and train in, places like Limuru, or, where the weather is so extreme, or Nanyuki extreme, or even go to Panari, upstairs, where you have the same kind of conditions. One can argue so.
I think for me to kujibu swali lako, even if you're going for winter sport, specifically floorball is an indoor sport, so hakuna pahali wanakuja kuchezea kwa barafu hata kidogo. So the rooms will be heated to the normal temperatures. So watakuwa napatana na baridi from the hotel to the arena. But the game itself, so yes, we had considered that, but now country yetu wenye unajua na hata Africa, so looking at all those conditions, so I think by clothing them warmly, will take care of them being outside, but also within wakiwa ndani, the temperatures will be like how they are training. Yeah.
As we look at, some of
maybe amfa kidogo niongezee kwa hii ya Vincent.
No.
Wakati Vincent alikuwa na request amenities at Kasarani, aliwauliza mko na zile fan kubwa kama za zenye za kwanga banki, mtuwekee kama 5 tuone kama tunaweza shtua timu.
Wakute kama kuna baridi.
Sports Kenya just laughed.
I know, it can be very interesting. Eric,
Yes.
It's your first time to represent the country. How prepared are you psychologically? Uko tayari?
I'm not the first to prepare to represent the country,
That's a good one. That's a good one, yes?
but I'm prepared for this season again to present our country in this game called floorball. Yes.
I like the first statement. I'm not the first to represent. There are many more. So it means psychologically you're ready. You've tuned your mind that I'm not the first, neither will you be the last. Many more will come. Excellent. Victor.
Yes.
Time has come that we now have to go. All the talking has been done. You just have a few days to represent the country. What can you promise Kenyans? Utawaahidi nini? Tunayo hatuna?
Tuko nayo. Hiyo nayo.
Tunayo.
Tuko nayo. So for me now, vile nimeona vile tumetrain, ninaona kama tuko sawa with my teams, with my coach. So tukienda huko, we have to try our hard so we can bring gold in our country, Kenya.
Good.
Yes.
Coach William,
Yes.
Africans and Kenyans specifically are always known to be very physique, have a lot of endurance, and can go an extra mile.
Yes.
Is that one thing that could be working to our advantage?
Number one, for strength, yes. Because in this game, in floorball, you need to have strength, especially when you
Just like we can see there,
Yes.
the way they are running
So,
on the screen.
Exactly. So the pivot and the fulcrum, that's what gives you more strength when you are hitting the ball.
Yes.
When you are shooting, for example, in floorball, we only have 3 shoots. You can do the wrist shoot, you can do slap shot.
Can you get into the red marking that we are seeing there? Are you allowed to get in there and
Yeah,
score?
for example, what you are seeing there,
Yes.
there is what we call the goalkeeper's area, the GA. It is marked the GA, the small rectangle you can see. That one, that one is GA. It's only meant for the goalkeeper only.
The red
when
one.
a player, the red one, the first one,
smaller red one.
the other one is 4x5 space. So the 4x5 space, it's now also the goalkeeper's area, but he cannot step out of that 4x5.
Na naweza songesha goalpost.
Hawezi songesha. Akisongesha goalpost, hawezi
Inakuwa fine.
songesha. It is marked. It is supposed to be there. So the small rectangle, the goalkeeper's area, it is only meant for the goalkeeper. We call him the goalie. So only the goalie is supposed to be there. If a player, for example, if the attacker side player steps on that. Actually, in floorball, that the biggest mistake you can make when you're trying to score from that area. You are given 2-minute penalty.
You go out.
Yes.
So you play
step
less.
out. Yeah. In this game we have 3v3. That is 3 players and 1 goalie game, or 5v5. But in Special Olympics this time round we are doing 3v3. That means we have 3 players in the field, in the rink, within the rink. We play within a rink. Yes. So 3 players and 1 goalie. So if you are disadvantaged with 2 minutes, even another player can be given 2 minutes. So that means now when you have one, that game cannot continue because it cannot be played by one player, field player.
So do you give the win to the opponent?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
And it's basically the number of goals you score.
The number of goals. When you score, when you win, you get 3 points. When you draw, you get 1 point. You lose 0.
And as coach,
Yeah.
what have you been working on more? Has it been more offensive in terms of scoring,
Yes.
or defensive in terms of making sure that we don't concede? What have you been laying a lot of emphasis on, all departments?
I have been balancing because, number 1, for example, in this case, we are going to have in our first divisioning level, we are going to play against 4 or 5 teams. That means you don't know which team we are playing with. Number 1, you have now to make sure all these athletes, they are equipped with all. Actually, among the 6 field players, anyone can defend, anyone can attack, anyone can defend, anyone can do. I normally train them all skills so that in scenarios whereby, for example, we are playing, and in Special Olympics, we have a principle called meaningful involvement. Meaning, I have to give all these athletes equal chances to play. Meaning, if I have 8 minutes, that means I have to give them each 2-2-2. You can't play 3 minutes, the other one play 1. That one will not be a balanced play. So I normally train them everything so that even if I have substituted you to go to defend, you are supposed to be there. If I substitute you to be the attacker or to be now the midfielder, you do it.
So this thing we see in football at times, umebeba wachezaji 18,
Yes.
kuna wale wataenda warudi bila hata kuingia kwa kiwanja.
Kwetu ni fine.
Actually, for Special Olympics, it's a disqualification.
It's a disqualification.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
school
must.
You are given 5 warnings, starting from the first warning. By the time now they are coming to the 5th, is a disqualification of the whole team. Because the essence is, remember, these are athletes with disabilities, and maybe they have gotten 1 chance to go and represent. Now, you carry a player, their intention is to go and play. Then why carry them from, especially, I'm talking now on behalf of Special Olympics. Remember, us, we are not at that elite level. So why carry them for them to go and sit down? So at the end of the game, we have a technical team. They are not the officials, they are not the technical people. So them is a technical team on the stands. They are looking in terms of player A has gotten in. How many minutes have they played? 5. We have another player F who has not. So they'll come and talk to the technical, and the technical will warn the coach. Player A has not played any game. So for Special Olympics, is what we are referring to as meaningful involvement. They have to be involved, and also honest effort. So kwa Special Olympics, hakuna udanganyifu. We have a 15% difference. But you cannot increase your performance within the same event by more than 15%. Even in elite sports. So if during the divisioning, you are playing at a lower level so that you can get a lower division for you to win a gold medal, then come the finals now, you have improved your game by more than 15%. So the technical officials are ruling nyuma ya hema. So they do the math, and they do the math, and then your team can be disqualified, or you given you can be awarded a ribbon. So for Special Olympics, what we tell them is, honesty is key, whether it's during divisioning or the final game. So for this, I want to give you a story about this gentleman called Victor.
Very quickly.
When we are doing the trials, the mother happened to shift from Nairobi to Kakamega. Imagine he used to come from Kakamega every Friday to come to train at University of Nairobi. And after the game, I rode the Kakamega. That's the resilience that our team has. So individually, 8 of them, I tell you, the timu Special Olympics you cannot crash them
Kujituma,
easily.
yeah.
Wamepata your platform, they know maybe academically, maybe they may not, but this now suppose they are able to showcase what they can do, they give their all.
Wow.
Yeah.
CEO, you have the final word. I'm told we have less than 2 minutes to wrap this.
One victor has been recognized and will be in the opening ceremony. So he will sit with the Shrivers, the Kennedys, in the opening ceremony with the international delegates because of his resilience. It is important to recognize. We want to say that we will cascade, we are continuing to cascade sports to grassroots because it's the easiest tool to improve inclusion. Tunataka kutoa AMFA, bado kuna wazazi wanaficha watoto ambao wako na intellectual disability kwa nyumba, wengine wanafungwa kwa nyumba za mbwa na za kuku na nyororo ama kamba ile ya ng'ombe. So we are trying to show that sports is that tool that we can use to bring equality. As we develop the athletes, we develop the parents. These athletes are going to come back and with money, and they're going to win. And a gold medal from the Winter Games from Special Olympics has an equivalent value kama ni Faith Kipyegon na Merudi na gold medal. So the amount of money that she gets, they will get. And you see it improves the family.
Correct.
Lastly, I want to say thank you to the leadership of Special Olympics, the board, the chair, and his board members for giving us this opportunity because they championed for the same. And honestly, we want to say our grateful thanks and gratitude to the Ministry of Sports for supporting the team to be able to manage its logistics, training, and also go and come back. And we want to say thank you to KBC. You've given us a great opportunity. Yes, you've given us a great opportunity to be here. And National Bank gave us a sponsorship of 1 million to prepare the team. It was a very good boost to the team and the morale. And sijui kama nitataja, lakini tuko na maji, tuko na juice mahali, tuko na soda mahali ambayo tumepata kutoka kwa Coca-Cola ambao wamekuja wakatushika mkono. So team hawatakuwa na queue. And we also, we also controlling their sugar levels, but at least they're well refreshed. We want to say thank you to everyone. It's a journey. And in a journey, wao watu wengi wanakushika mkono and you appreciate them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you making time to be with us. Our coach, William Wanjohi, we wish you all the best as you continue preparing Eric and of course Victor and the rest of the team. Wishing you all the best. Vincent, wishing you all the best as well. William, the good work you guys are doing at Special Olympics. Wishing you all the best, and we'll be keeping Kenyans appraised of the happenings as you continue preparing. And when you go to Turin, go out there, represent the country, and we'll let Kenyans know how the going is. Thank you very much for having made time to be with us.